ChatGPT. What it has done to us?
ChatGPT.
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 Maybe you've heard of it. If you haven't, then get ready.
Ever since that started hitting the headline, we all tried experimenting with that and adopting in many of the ways, right? So AI is no more a buzzword. What ChatGPT has done is accelerating the pace of adoption of AI. Now we know the tremendous potential that this artificial intelligence has and the ability of AI to transform the future. This has just given a glimpse of it, right? But what is the relationship between investment and ChatGPT or AI? Are you thinking about it? Yes, there is an excess. Investment most of the time is all about your ability to spot the trend early, reach there, get the clarity, commit your capital, stay invested in the theme, and when the time comes, cash it out and become millionaire. So, in this video, let us see, can artificial intelligence create next millionaires and give us that chance of becoming millionaires? If so, what are the rewards, risk, potential perils involved in this journey and how to bet on this thing? We are currently in fourth industrial revolution. Someone said future is not evenly distributed. There is no strict demarcation like this is the future, this is the past, this is the present. Future is already here. It might sound very philosophical, but if you think, it is so damn true. Most of the time, it is not, the more clarity or certain things to unfold. We are not able to see them, but they are already happening. Disruptive technology always unfolds like this. In the initial stage, just like Elon Musk had been experimenting with autonomous vehicle, came with Tesla, and it had placed them ahead of curve, and we are still, most of the people, denying that no, it does not have scope. But he could foresee something that we could not. That makes him an early adopter. But 90% of the people always keep denying. What happens? When the technology disrupts, it comes like tsunami, changes everything that we do. At that time, we have no choice but accepting and adopting. But because we were waiting for more clarity, certain changes before investing or taking certain decision or adopting that, we would have lost the early adoption chances and most of the time the ability to generate huge return also. If you think about today's time, this fourth industrial revolution that we are witnessing, this is an era of connectivity, machine learning, deep learning, intelligent computer. This artificial intelligence, machine learning, AR, VR, blockchain and cloud computing has enormous potential, enough to change everything that we do in life. The way that we communicate, interact, travel, work, learn, it can change all social, economic aspects of human life. For those who are still in denial, let me tell you, it has happened in the past also. Steam had propelled first industrial revolution. This had changed the primarily agricultural focused society and encouraged people to leave these agro-based communities and in search of job they started moving towards cities. So this encouraged urbanization. This also reduced reliance on fossil fuel and animals for transportation. The second revolution was powered by electricity. This era also witnessed the wired and wireless communication. The third was all about automation, using machines for mass production and targeting that volume, using that push strategy towards market and minting more and more profit. So now the business had realized that by using the machines, it is possible to replace the labor and to decrease the cost per unit, increase the volume of production. This era also witnessed introduction of internet and computers. Computers had made this most repetitive daily mundane task very easy. And internet was easy for anybody to access information. Information was no longer a power and it was so easy even to share and save those information, and how it transformed our life we all know. Now we are in fourth industrial revolution, which is the age of deep learning, machine learning and intelligent computers. They can replicate our general intelligence and thinking process. And if we don't update and upskill, they can even replace us. Whether you believe or not, whether you accept or deny, the truth is these language models, generative AIs which can generate anything, will be the digital pillars of modern economy. This is not going anywhere. This will stay here. There is a huge promise, potential as well as perils associated with this artificial intelligence. It all depends on the business leaders or the end user, whether they are using this to target inefficiency, improve or augment this productivity, or for any innovation, or simply to replace the existing force. So it depends what is the purpose, how they are imagining the entire thing, their future in the context of AI. Why I am telling this? If you think how AI can be used even in teaching, AI cannot replace teachers. Teachers are very much essential. They should be able to motivate, get certain things out of students. This cannot be done with AI, but AI can definitely free up their time so that they can focus on developing a holistic personality, such as emphasizing on critical thinking, problem solving capacity, or establishing superior communication skill. These all only with the motivation of a teacher it's possible to get the things done. And if you think about the repetitive administrative task or holding parents teacher meeting, this can be definitely improved with the help of AI, right? As per PwC report, if business leaders start making strategic investment, then AI will increase the productivity, and this increased productivity will also lead to increase in GDP, and this will stand at the valuation of $15.7 trillion by 2030 alone. Let me tell you why am I stressing upon this strategic investment. For any leader, he should reimagine the future, business operations, entire process, and understand where lies the inefficiency and the problematic areas. Then he should understand whether it can be avoided by using AI. Then he has to introduce that, upskill, train all the people in the process, then only the return starts generating. If he straightly goes and starts introducing AI because it is the buzzword, no return will be guaranteed. So it is all about making a strategic investment, means using AI strategically. In that sense, what happens? The productivity improves. You don't have to bother about non-value adding things, right? You can completely focus on core competence where you are having a strong command. Then what happens? The productivity is increased and the output is increased. The same will happen in the economy level also. GDP will go up. And the interesting part is, in that 15.7 trillion value also, 6.1 trillion comes from increased productivity. Look at the amazing possibility that AI has. Only the remaining part is coming from consumption. This is where the potential of artificial intelligence is just limitless. Now that we have understood how to spot the trend, what are the potential promises, perils of this artificial intelligence, let us see how to capitalize on it. There are only two ways. One is directly picking the stock and making investment. This is the riskiest route, I will tell you. Why? Unless you are very good at technical and fundamental analysis where you know how to understand the economy risk, industry risk, and even in the supply chain of these artificial intelligence. For example, if there is a chip maker company, how indispensable, inevitable their product is, and what are the supply chain disruptions, and what is the pricing power, what is the competitive advantage. These are the things which will fundamentally give you an idea what would be the growth prospect of these companies. Then you have to go to the annual reports, read them thoroughly, understand the performance, and then relate it to your projection and invest. Still, it is very risky. In the beginning of any trend, it is extremely difficult to predict who is going to emerge as winners eventually. Looking back, making analysis is not at all tough. But how do you know when the trend has just started who is going to be the winner? But there are some arguments and counter arguments. Let me give the perspective on this also. There are one set of people who argue that companies like Google, this is not a recommendation, just an example, still will be the winner because the extensive, deepest research that if one had done on human brain is Google. They know everything what we want, what we do. Search. They're still the king company in search as well as cloud. So maybe they have lot of disruptive AI tools and they're waiting for the proper time to introduce them to the market, right? And there is counter argument to that. There are other set of people who believe probably the winner in this AI race is going to be the company which has not even been founded. Why? These small companies can move swiftly. These have backup of venture capitalists, private equity, they take funded and they have nothing to lose in the sense they have tremendous scope to experiment and make little mistake and carve out their ways and move. So who knows, at the end, these giant companies will have lot of procedures and the problems to steer the strategic direction of the company. So for them to move in this direction and small company to move swiftly, there is a lot of difference. So this set of the people believe that the winner is not the giant companies, they will come from the smallest companies, small caps. But at the end, we cannot predict right now, standing at this point. If you bet on the theme without breaking your head for complex investment strategy, then another route available is this index or ETF route. Why this matters? Because there is a risk diversification. You are not completely, having a concentrated portfolio, and this is an indirect method of taking this AI exposure. There is an ETF which is AIQ. This is purely for giving an example and don't take it as a recommendation. This AIQ or Global AI Technology ETF, they are betting on AI as well as big data. Their main holding is in the giant companies like Alphabet, Nvidia, Apple, Meta, etc. And there is one more ETF which is First Trust Nasdaq ETF, which is betting on AI as well as robotics because they feel that robotics and AI, both the theme will go hand in hand. And here they are holding our exposure is the mixture of small caps, those who are VC, venture capital funded, maybe which is not even listed but doing great things in AI space, as well as the big tech giants, so that they are constructing the portfolio in a way that they don't miss out anything in this AI race. It is up to you whether you want this index or ETF route. You have to consider expense ratio and asset under their management as well as a liquidity factor. But this ETF is the best way possible to stay invested in the theme without taking so much of risk.